emojis.
Hey, so glad you came back. Now today, we're going to be making some spare ribs, right? We're going to smoke some spare ribs, right? They're St. Louis cut, right? But we're going to glaze them in a balsamic vinegar glaze. It's a delicious glaze. I know you're going to enjoy it. This is what we're working with. This is the end result. That nice balsamic darkness. They're super tender. Why? Because I left them on the smoker in the final stages, well, the wrapping stages, for about 15 minutes longer than I wanted, so they fall off the bone. Now, a lot of people like them when they fall off the bone. I'm not a particular fan of it, right? I like to work for my ribs, but it is what it is. It's still delicious. Let me give you a little taste. A rib. Look at that. Fall off the bone. If you like fall off the bone, this is for you. Fall off the bone or not, it's delicious. Hope you enjoy this. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Now what we have here, we have our ribs here. I cut them into St. Louis style, right? I have our mustard that we're going to use as a binder, and our seasoning. Now this is just my rub that I put together. But, you know, it's not about the rub at this point. It's about the glaze we're going to put on it. So you can put whatever you want on your ribs. Now you can just go simple, salt, pepper, a little garlic, or you can get as extravagant as you want to, right? It's completely up to you. Just add this mustard. You won't taste the mustard, right? So I'm gonna put a little bit on it. I removed the membrane, so we ain't gotta worry about that. Again, that's up to you. If you wanna remove it, you can. It's completely up to you. Nice coverage. Turn it over. Do the same thing to this side, the meat side. Now this is going to sit and get to room temperature while the smoker is warming up. And we'll be ready to go. All right, now for my spritz. Now after the ribs have been out there for a good hour, right? I'm going to spritz them every 30 minutes, okay? Now this spritz, all it is 1 part apple juice to 1 part apple cider vinegar. That's all you need. You could just go apple juice and water, that's fine. Or just water and apple cider vinegar. But I find that apple juice with the apple cider vinegar as a spritz works very well. Alright. Now the smoker is about up to temp, right? And the wood I'm going to be using, I mean, if you watch my videos, you know I prefer hickory, right? So we're going to go hickory. And I'm going to be adding both apple and cherry to this. I like the cherry for the color that it gives, right? It's going to give a nice little red hue to it. And I like the apple for the extra fruitiness, right? So that's why I do that, okay? So let's get this on the smoker. All right. Put this bad boy on. The meaty side, closest to the fire. Have our water pans under it. Let this go for an hour. All right, it's been an hour. First spritz. And you want to do this about every half hour. Now, it's almost time to wrap the ribs. So at this point, we want to start working on our glaze, right? Our balsamic glaze, okay? We want to let that simmer for a bit. Now, it's going to be done in like in a few minutes, but we're going to wrap the ribs and they're going to go for another couple hours, right, before we unwrap them. But that's not going to stop us from working ahead. Remember, smarter, not harder. So let's get to this glaze. All right, now for the glaze, what we're going to need is about a half a cup, right, of balsamic vinegar, half a cup of packed brown sugar. I'm using light brown sugar. Half a cup of ketchup, about 4 minced garlics, right, minced garlic cloves, about 4 of them, about a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of salt, and about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, okay? Let's get these in the pot, and let's get them simmering. Now let's turn the heat on here to that medium. Now we want to add our balsamic vinegar. Put that in there, all right? Have my spatula here. Get that out of there. We want to add our ketchup. You know, spatulas are awesome because they can get everything out of there if you really want it to. We're going to add our brown sugar now. That goes in. Our pepper. Our salt. Our garlic. Put all the garlic in there. Nice. And now our Dijon. Get the Dijon mustard in there. All right, now that we have these in, we'll mix it a bit. And this is going to be the glaze for our ribs, you see? Be nice, tangy. Take our whisk and really mix it up. Gotta get the whisk. I mean, if you're gonna do it, let's do it right. Okay, we're gonna turn this down to low. Put the little lid on it. And we're going to check it in about 5 minutes. Now it's starting to bubble, right? Starting to boil a bit, so we'll mix it here. I'm going to take my tasting chopsticks, and I'm going to give it a shot. See if we need to add anything. Oh no, this is good. This is good. We're going to turn it down to low, right? And we're going to let it just simmer for 5 minutes. Alright, so the sauce is done. Alright, the glaze is done. Barbecue sauce. Real simple. Now we're going to let this sit and then crack the lid. so a lot of that heat can evaporate or dissipate. And now we're going to get ready to pull the ribs off the smoker so we can wrap them. Alright, so now it's been about 3 hours. We pulled the ribs, now it's time to wrap them. I'm going to wrap them a little different than I normally do. Normally I would put brown sugar on it, some honey, butter, some more seasonings, apple juice. But what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to add butter. I want to add the butter, the squeezed butter. I'm going to add some of the spritz, right? Now I'm spraying on it, which is the apple juice and the apple cider vinegar, right? No sugar, no brown sugar because it's in the glaze. And then we're going to wrap it up and put it back on the smoker for 2 hours. All right. Yeah, this is heavy duty, and this is extra heavy duty. This stuff makes the regular aluminum foil look like trash. You understand that? Throw ribs on. See, look, got a little bounce to them. See that? But it's not ready. Not for my taste. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some squeezed butter to both sides, okay? Get it all on there. I'm going to carefully flip it over. Add it to this side. See, we already have some pullback on the bone. As you can see here, some pullback, but it's not ready. Okay. Now our spritz, I'm just going to open it up, pour a little on it. You don't need a whole lot. Maybe a quarter of a cup is what I put on it. Now we're going to wrap this with the meat side down. Okay? And we're going to fold it. Can you see this here? Just fold it. And we're going to put this right back on the smoker for 2 hours. So let me put it back out there and I'll see you in 2 hours. Now you saw me wrap it, right? And you saw me put some of the liquids in there. Now what that's going to do, it's going to cause the meat to steam over the next 2 hours, right? It's going to make it very, very tender. Now you don't have to go the full 2 hours, right? You could check it. You're just looking for an internal temperature of roughly about 195 on your ribs, right? Now, okay, let me back up. 190 is good, okay? You get a good bite through. 195 is excellent, but some people will go 200 plus. That's when you get the fall off the bone ribs, okay? Also, another thing you need to know, when you wrap the ribs, a lot of people that barbecue think that because you wrapped it, you're cheating, okay? Because it tenderizes the meat very fast. There are other ways to tenderize it. I'll show you that in other videos. But what they call this, when you wrap it in the aluminum foil, they call it a Texas crunch, right? They think it's cheating. It's not cheating. You're trying to get the best product that you can do. And if you're cooking for people, well, if I'm cooking for myself, I want the best that I can make, okay? So, that being said, if I have to use the so-called Texas crunch to give me the best experience, guess what I'm using? I'm crunching. I'm crunching. Both arms, I'm crunching. And I hope you will too, because at the end of the day, it comes down to flavor and satisfaction. And I hope you're satisfied with this. Now, after 2 hours, we're going to unwrap it, put it back on the grill, and then we're going to glaze it every 15 minutes with our sauce that we made for an hour. And then we'll be good to go. See you in a couple hours. Okay, so it's been 2 hours. Let's get these ribs unwrapped and get them sauced up for the last hour or so. All right. All right. Sauce on it. Nice and glazed. Right. Okay, let this sit. About 40 minutes and we'll be good to go. Alright, so here are our balsamic ribs. What I want to do is get this little guy off the end here. Right? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. It's a dark rib. You got nice smoke ring there. So I'm going to double cut these. Let me plate this up real quick and we'll see what we got. So here we have it, our smoked balsamic glazed ribs. These are spare ribs. They're delicious and I know you're going to enjoy these. Now granted, I did overcook them. The reason why I say I overcooked them is because they fall off the bone. I don't really like my ribs that way, but the flavor's still there. Now, if you like this, hey, give me a thumbs up, right? If you're not already subscribed, hey, join the peanut gallery. You know, we leave our arms open and we'll leave the light on for you. Also, if you're not connected on Instagram with me, hey, go to Instagram, put my name in, look for the gray cat, and let's connect. And always, if you can, share me out. Throw some comments down below. It helps out tremendously. That being said, this Shrashira, I am out because I'm about to enjoy some ribs. Apparently fall off the bone ribs.